Hi everyone. Today I'm going to read you a very special book. It's one that my mom read to me when I was little, and now I get to read to my kids. In fact, I read this book to my daughter almost every day for 6 months as she was going to bed. I hope you enjoy it as much as my kids do. Let's read Little Brown Bear. Story and pictures by Wendy Watson. Once, there was a little brown bear who lived deep in the woods in a snug treehouse with his mama and his papa. Every morning, little brown bear ate his mush and drank his juice and wiped his whiskers, and his mama and his papa did too. Every morning after breakfast, Papa buttoned his vest and went out the door with his fishing pole over his shoulder, down to the river to fish. But little brown bear had to stay at home and help Mama pick blackberries up on the hill. Every night, Papa came home with a basket of fish. Mama cooked the fish in her big black frying pan and made a pie from the blackberries that she and little brown bear had picked. Then, they all ate the fish and the pie for supper. And Mama always said that Papa was the best fisherman in the world. But one morning, little brown bear said,
"I'm tired of picking blackberries. I want to go down to the river to fish."
"A little brown bear is too small to go down to the river to fish,"
laughed Papa.
"You must be big and strong to fish."
Then Papa buttoned his vest and went out the door with his fishing pole over his shoulder.
"I am big and strong,"
cried little brown bear to his mama.
"I want to go down to the river to fish."
"A little brown bear is much too small to go down to the river to fish," said Mama. "What if you fell in and were swept over those dangerous falls? You must stay at home with your mama." But little brown bear did not. He took down his papa's spare fishing pole and he tiptoed out the door and down to the river to see if he could fish. But where Papa went left, little brown bear went right so that his papa would not see him. Little brown bear sat on a log by the river and waited and waited. The black flies bit his nose and the grasses tickled and itched. When lunchtime came, he had no lunch. But little brown bear sat quiet and still with his papa's spare fishing pole. The sun began to travel down the other side of the sky. Little brown bear's arms were tired from holding the fishing pole for so long. Still, he waited and waited. The air grew cool and the locusts sang. Little brown bear was almost ready to give up and go home, when suddenly a big fish did bite his hook. That fish thrashed and pulled. It pulled little brown bear and his fishing pole off the log, into the water, and down the river, straight toward those dangerous falls. Down, down, down through the water went little brown bear, but still he held tight to Papa's spare fishing pole. The sound of the rushing falls came closer and closer.
"Oh!"
cried little brown bear.
"If only Papa were here!"
And then, just as he was about to go right over the falls, little brown bear felt big, strong paws pulling him out of the water.
"There is my little brown bear,"
cried Papa.
"There is my spare fishing pole. And there is a big fish."
And Papa hugged his little brown bear with strong, furry arms. When Papa pulled in the line, the fish on the end of it was so big that little brown bear had to help. Papa scratched his ears.
"Who said a little brown bear was too small to go down to the river to fish?"
"You did,"
laughed little brown bear.
"Still,"
growled Papa,
"what if you had been swept over those dangerous falls? You must fish with your papa."
That night, Mama had to cook little brown bear's fish outdoors because it was too big to fit in her frying pan. Mama rubbed her nose. Who said a little brown bear was too small to go down to the river to fish?
You did,
Laughed Little Brown Bear. Just the same, growled Mama. You were almost swept over those dangerous falls. You must fish with your papa, and you must tell your mama before you go. The next evening, when Papa came home, he carried his big old fishing pole over his shoulder. On the other shoulder, he carried a small new fishing pole, just the right size for a little brown bear. And when they all sat down to supper, Mama brought out a new red vest, just right for a little brown bear to go fishing in. Now, every morning, Little Brown Bear and his mama and his papa eat their mush and drink their juice and wipe their whiskers. Then, Little Brown Bear and his papa button their vests and go out the door with their fishing poles over their shoulders, down to the river to fish. And Mama always says that they are the two best fishermen in the world. The end.